Hello everybody and welcome to MMORPG.com. I'm Bill Murphy and this is Torchlight Frontiers. That's right, the Alpha 3 has kicked off, the NDA is gone, so I'm going to record a little bit of footage and talk about the game. One thing that you're going to notice right now is that for some reason or another, and this is the state of alphas, right? I am unable to get the sound to come through on a dual monitor setup. If I Alt-Tab out, the sound is there. But then as soon as I go back into the game, it's not there. It works fine on my laptop, but that's not really good enough for recording, so we're just going to kind of deal with this, and you'll deal with my droning voice. It's a shame, though, because there is fantastic music from the same guys who did the music for Torchlight 1 and 2. So I'm hoping that by the time I'm done recording this, we've got some music or something. Maybe it's magically being recorded and I just can't hear it coming out of my speakers. In any case, there are only 2 classes and 2 frontiers. That's when I say frontiers, it's like a biome or a region of the world. But the 2 classes are the Dusk Mage, which is what you have here, and then you have the other class, which is really pretty neat here, called the Forged. That's what I'm going to create for you guys right now, and you guys can get a peek at these. So these Forged are like, sentient mechanical beings. Let's see, let's give them a random name. Robbie, that's perfect. And we've got you can pick your pets. There are a few pets in here already. Obviously, I'm expecting more pets to be added. Retrievers, llamas, or alpacas, I apologize to all you alpaca lovers, and owls. I think for this purpose, we're going to go with a teal owl. I like the idea of a teal owl. Named Isabella? Sure, why not? This is just alpha. And then you have a very work-in-progress introduction that tells you about what happened to the world after the events of Torchlight 2, and we're going to kind of skip that because I don't want to spoil it, especially considering it's very work in progress. And then we're just going to get right into playing, and I'll talk over the action here. I hate the fact that there's no sound. At least I hope there's sound. And you guys will get a good look at how things are in the first game. So this is Alpha 3. This is very much a work in progress. And my controller's not working. That kind of makes me sad. It was working earlier. Yeah, so the Xbox controller is supposed to work with this sucker, but it's not. It doesn't mean anything though, because you can still play with mouse and keyboard just fine. The Xbox controller just feels real good. So you arrive at the basically the world is in danger again, and you've got to go out there and fight back the darkness. And goblins are taking over the outpost, so you've got to go back and you've got to go out and take care of things. So this is cool. The Forged has a heat mechanic. It's not like a typical mana mechanic. So once heat is built up, you use event skill to unleash it. Event skill in this case is Vortex Bomb. So you have your regular attack, and you have rapid fire. That builds up your heat, and then boom, Vortex Bomb. So yeah, let's go find some goblins and kill the heck out of them. Might get lucky. There we go. See? It sucks them in and then blows up. The Forge is a pretty cool class, whereas the Dust Mage is a sort of a typical, mage class. This one has a little bit more interesting mechanics. That's not to say the Dust Mage isn't good. It's just that it's a typical, shoot balls of light and darkness and kill things from far away. Whereas this class is a little bit more of a tank, and you can build it out that way. Alright, so this is sort of your introductory quest. This camp is actually going to be your base of operations after you clear this guy out. Boom. Done. Real simple stuff at first. And we gotta talk to General Gray.
We must focus on the mission.
Take you to the very own fort. Sergeant Clive will be... Oh yeah, that's one of the cool things. So this this fort that they're talking about is essentially your housing. It's your account housing. I think it's account based. This is the second character I've made. We'll find out whether or not it's actually the case. Yeah, see, I can't travel to my fort. Alpha, folks. It does say that I'm only 70% done killing the goblins, so maybe we should kill a few more goblins. And
You have received a quest.
kind of see what happens that way. Nope, that worked. Chanter 100 is for it. That's. I'm not Chanter 100. I think I'm in someone else's fort because this is not mine. Yeah, that's all Chanter 100 stuff. How did I get there? Ooh, I don't know. Did we talk about how this is bugs? So let's go back to the Imperial Outpost.
You have received a quest.
One of the cool things about this Alpha 3 is that it is going to be open 24/7. Oh look, I guess I kind of finished that quest. And this is sort of your home base. Everybody's kind of like clones of each other right now. There's not really a lot of difference in the way people look, although if you really have powered through and gotten some questing and bosses killed, you might be a little bit different looking. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So this is like your main quest hub. Think of this game a lot in the terms of Marvel Heroes when it comes to being an MMO. Mainly because... Wow. Do I need any of this stuff? Yeah, there we go. Mainly because it's a lot of shared spaces, but a lot of private and instances and stuff like that too. So you don't have to worry about, you know, it's still a very soloable game, solo-friendly game. But there's a lot of group content and group dungeons as well. But they're not all there yet because we're only in Alpha 3. The fact that they've taken the NDA down already is pretty surprising to me. But it shows you that they're confident and they want the feedback and they want players to get out there and share it and help sort of guide the direction of the game. There's no store yet. The Frontier Traders will be the store, so that's good. You know, they're not taking your money or anything like that. As you can see, it runs pretty well, actually. These guys. We need to meet General Grey in the Den of Upheaval. Easy enough. So this is one of the shared areas. Things respawn, come and go. Oddly, my heat's not going up. I can just hold this thing down and it's not going anywhere. I'm assuming... Yeah, that must be interesting. What's confusing about that is I think it was actually it's meant for mana, so that you can use skills without worrying about depleting mana, but it was actually affecting my heat too. Woo. So what you saw there was the Goblin Forest level up. You level up via frontiers. Like each frontier has its own level, so you are better equipped to take on things in each frontier. But you don't have like an overall character level. It's all about your equipment that you have to go take on the frontier. See. And yes, there are crafting materials. Notice the tree here. I will take this stuff, and you can then take it back to your fort to build things.
Fortitude above all else.
Right, so essentially we're going to take our Relic Weapon. They gave us our first Relic Weapon. Everybody gets the Blood Drinker to start. You get to use it, I think, about every 25 seconds or so, so it's not too infrequent, although when you first equip it, you have a longer cooldown. The Relic Weapon is basically just like a really powerful weapon that you can level up as well, so there's lots of different things that you're leveling up in the game.
You ready for action, recruit?
Alright, so she wants me to head into the Den of Upheaval, clean it out. This one is, I think, a private dungeon. So if you bring your team in there, that's fine, but it's solo otherwise. For those of you who have played Torchlight 1 and 2, especially 2, this is going to seem familiar, and that's good, because that's what I have been wanting personally, and I'm assuming a lot of Torchlight fans have been hoping for more Torchlight, and you know, now we have it from a lot of the same team, just a different name for the company. So those little red dots that you're picking up are actually skill points. We'll talk about that a little bit later. At your fort, you can spend skill points to get new skills and everything like that. That's kind of the primary way to actually get new skills, and that's both passive and active skills.
Vent heat to use more skills.
That's cool. So that insulated hatch I just picked up for my forged, it got equipped right here. You know, all the armor is visual, all the weapons are visual and stuff like that, and they're all different for each class, which is, I'm assuming, why there's not a third or fourth class yet, although I believe that there are 4 planned so far, that they just haven't announced them all. So we've got to go kill Deadmaster Wretch Breath, which is probably the most disgusting name I've ever heard. That is a very powerful skill. I almost wish that these guys weren't so ranged, though, because they're not getting close to me. I have to get up close to them for them to use it. Oh, we're getting close to the boss. See, he's starting to already, you know, his health bar starting to show up the closer I get to him. They're not a major boss, even though this is the very first few minutes of the game, so he's basically just like an elite monster. See if he's hiding. And I'm not doing jack to him.
Time to vent heat.
Well, that's what this is for. Now I'm using my Relic Weapon. You can still use your skills when you have your Relic Weapon out. So that's kind of helpful. But notice I'm actually bleeding him with the Relic Weapon. Boom. Dead. And we got some stuff. Stuff is good. Now, earlier today when I was playing this, these dungeon exit portals were not working, but we'll find out if they are. So yeah, reinforced crab legs. Look. Woo! Everything's better looking. Alright, that time it worked. So is this seeming familiar yet? You know, this is basically 15 minutes of gameplay. And you're looking at it and you're probably saying, well, this is like Torchlight. Duh. This is the Torchlight MMO that was always planned for the game. It's just taken a long time to get there. Torchlight 1 was the single-player action RPG, the proof of concept, and then Torchlight 2 was the multiplayer, but still, you know, more like LAN multiplayer, and there is their network connection and stuff like that, but very much a single-player game. Now, this is an always online quasi-MMO, I guess you'd call it. And I dig that about that. Alright, so we need to use your town portal to return to the Imperial Outpost. There we go. Open your portal. So you have potions that you have to use, but you know, it's like an item that you can use, so it's not like Diablo 3 or anything like that where the potions just have to recharge, or Path of Exile for that matter. You do have to keep potions stocked, but you don't have to keep town portal scrolls stocked up, so that's kind of nice.
I'm sure we can help each other.
Gotta go kill some zombies, bring her some clothes, and she'll give me some stuff. All of these quests are just essentially, you know, reasons to reasons to level up your character in the different zones and everything like that. This is the first shop that's available. Sell all your stuff there. You can still send your pet back to town also if you get a little full. I'm buying those, but they're not actually going. Okay. Go to the Cave of Sorrows and talk to Thane Snow. Then there's also this guy over here. I can't remember his name. His name's Yapper. He's a captured goblin. Eventually you'll help him get some food and stuff like that. So this is Torchlight Frontiers, at least so far. There's quite a few zones. This is just the Goblin Forest frontier that you have. You start at the Imperial Outpost, and you have all these different places that you'll work towards and get teleports and everything like that too. And then the other part of the world, see, obviously a work in progress here. You have the Infested Forest, and this is more like bugs and nasty larvae and poisonous things and stuff like that. So there's quests that take you that way as well. It's pretty interesting, really, that they've put this game out now, and they've basically said, hey, tell us what you think. Quite honestly, it is probably one of the most fun games I have on my PC right now, but that's because I'm a huge Torchlight fan, and I'm anxious to see how it's going to grow and change. They said that at this point, during the alpha, they're not going to do as many wipes as possible. They're going to try to not wipe progress because they want you to be able to really get deeper into the frontiers. And of course, we're waiting for different things too, like we're waiting for not new biomes, I guess they're calling them new frontiers, new bosses, new party dungeons, more stuff to do in your fort. We're waiting for, of course, the new classes. And I think what'll be interesting is exactly how they build out the skills, because right now there's only this many skills for your class. So like the Forged I have 2 active right now, and there's only another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get. But there's also a bunch of passive ones. And there's also your Relic Weapon, which has its own set of skills and things like that you'll slowly unlock. See, as you hit level 5 on the Relic Weapon, you'll get more weapon damage to enemies hit and everything like that. So it'll be interesting, I think, to see how the game develops. They've already changed so much since Alpha 1 and Alpha 2, with the ability to have a wardrobe in your house. So the wardrobe, you can actually put in a set of items on it, so you have a second set of items for when you want to go fight something specific. People can see it, or you could just like store cool things on the wardrobe, like, hey, look at this, I don't use it anymore, but look how cool this is. So that's kind of interesting. And of course there's a relic crafting station that you'll build up and put in your fort and everything like that. See, and this will actually tell you over here the level of each of the 2 frontiers that you're in. So I'm level 2 for the Goblin Forest, and I'm only level 1 for the Infested, whatever it's called, because obviously I haven't gone there yet with this character. So yeah, this Torchlight Frontiers so far. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to pipe up in the comments, and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. It is about 2 in the morning here. It took me forever to get this thing installed because it didn't want to install properly. Again, welcome to Alpha. But yeah, I just wanted you to have a quick look at Torchlight Frontiers. Something to keep your eye on. Obviously, if you want alpha access, you have to sign up on the site, which is at torchlightfrontiers.com. Otherwise, it's not like an open beta. It's not like a public beta even. It's pretty much they invite a few people at a time and try to make sure the servers stay okay, that the activity is good, and that they're getting good feedback and everything like that. And right now, it's only on PC, but it's also supposed to come to Xbox One and PS4 later in 2019. I assume when it actually officially launches, it'll be later this year. So keep your eyes peeled, and thanks for watching, as always.